What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here for you. Macho Wrestling 101 is my channel. Please hit like and subscribe if you like these videos. If you want to talk history of wrestling, I pump out classic videos each day. And I also stay up to date with Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views. I give my opinions on what's going on today. So if you hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and I think you'd like it. Today we're going to continue the Wrestlemania anthology, and we're going to stop all the way from 1 to 39 at number 35. So we only have a few more to go. This WrestleMania took place Sunday night, April the 7th, 2019, at the MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the same place that WrestleMania 29 took place just 6 years before it. We had a bunch of preliminary matches, but I'm only going to review the main card. So we start off with Alexa Bliss and Hulk Hogan Alexa Bliss, the host. She introduced Hogan as a surprise, and he did his usual "what you gonna do" shtick. The crowd popped. And then we get a WrestleMania video, America the Beautiful, all that. And we start off with Paul Heyman walking to the ring saying if he's not going to be on last, he'll be on first. So the fans got ready for a Universal title match as Brock Lesnar defended against Seth Rollins. This match was everything it should have been. It wasn't long, obviously. It's actually the opposite of that. It was only 2 minutes and 35 seconds, but the crowd popped huge for when Lesnar was down and Rollins hit the stomp on him for the pinfall victory and new Universal Champion. Lesnar matches, if they go quick, they work better. They just full of action spots, no slow spots. I'll rate that 2.5 stars just for starting the show with a bang. Yeah, you gotta wonder how much realism played into part with Lesnar not wanting to be there the whole night if he wasn't. So you gotta wonder if that's actually a sort of a worked shoot there. Nonetheless, we move on. Randy Orton and AJ Styles. These guys, I always complained about Jericho going on second, but this is the kind of match they should go on second. If it's going to be a slower, methodical match, that should go on second for sure. The problem is the last few WrestleManias I reviewed, Jericho, when he goes on second, it's not a methodical, slow match. So it takes the crowd out of it. And what's happening is when, and I'm referring to Jericho versus Kevin Owens, and I'm referring to Jericho versus AJ Styles from previous Manias. What happens is they have big spots, but the crowd's dead because we just watched a Money in the Bank or a 7-man Intercontinental title ladder match. But AJ and Orton's going to be a slower paced wrestler, so that's fine. Build intrigue up for matches that follow this. AJ Styles won at 16:20 after a phenomenal forearm, and I rate this match 3 stars. Was a good match, not a great match, and it was definitely serviceable. And this is what I mean. A slower match here builds up for a better. The crowd will now just get more intrigued by the next match because it's the way we are as humans. We go up and down, and the booking of the card should reflect that. Usually it does, and it does here tonight because right after that Orton methodical match, we get a 4-way tag team match, and usually those are tricky. Those at WrestleMania are usually throwaway matches, but this one impressed, and this one going after the slower methodical match really helped it. It really helped it because the big spots in this match were huge. This is the SmackDown Tag Team Championships between the Usos, who are challenging against The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, against Shinsuke and Rusev with Lana, and then Ricochet and Aleister Black are a team. The 2 NXT call-ups. So this match blew everybody's expectations away. It had great workers in it, so it shouldn't have really blown it away that far. I give it 4 stars as the Usos retain the title after a double Uso splash for the pinfall victory on Sheamus. And it was just an action-packed tag team match. All 8 guys brought their all. And this one really impressed people. And it definitely, I probably rate it higher than others, but I give it 4 stars. Moving on. Next, we had the Hall of Fame ceremony. I think it's funny seeing Bret Hart up there with the Hart Foundation, and then the Generation X going, suck it, right beside him. Oh, memories for Bret. Memories for Bret. Next up, we had Shane McMahon versus The Miz. The Miz's father gets involved, obviously. The Falls Count Anywhere match. Charles Robinson there to ref, and he'd go there or whatever, whoever had the fall. And that's key advice, because Shane McMahon ended up getting suplexed off a platform out the state crowd area down onto some padding below. But it was a long fall, and Robinson ruled that Shane McMahon's hands were over Miz, so he gets the pinfall victory at 15:30. I also give this match 3 stars, just because it was an inventive brawl. It was not slow, it was pretty entertaining. Maybe a bit too long, but entertaining nonetheless. Then we had the Women's Tag Team Championships to the Boston Hug Connection, this is Sasha and Bayley, against Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix. So this match on paper is another tag team title match, and these are the ones that sometimes lag, sometimes are classic, like the ones earlier. This one was decent. It was in the middle of lagging and being a classic. It was just a pretty good match because there's a lot of good workers in the match. They were there to hit their spots. Not every spot hit perfectly, but it was still a good tag team match. I rated it 2.5 stars. There was some slow parts in it overall, so it wasn't that action packed, but they did hit their spots when they had to. But most of those Smodge matches, when you throw so many people in it, tend to be forgettable. They all can't be classics like the one earlier in the night. Next up, the new Daniel Bryan with Eric Rowan takes on Kofi Kingston with the New Day. This is for the WWE title. Kofi Kingston, can he make it KofiMania? Fans thought so with their signs and their chants. This is a classic match. I give this match 4 stars and a quarter. In the end, at 23:43, Kingston hit Trouble in Paradise for the victory to become the champion. This is one of those dreams can come true matches. Pyro goes off, there's crying in the crowd, there's crying in the ring. Huge moment for Kofi Kingston, and huge moment for WWE for being diverse in who they choose to be a champion. I wish that title reign didn't consist of throwing pancakes out of their waist every week, but at least this moment was great. At least this match was great. It told a good story. Daniel Bryan tried to methodically wear down Kofi's core, working on his abdomen. Tried to break his body down and then also work on his legs to take away the aerial assault. So I understood the story, but Kofi being the underdog and getting to his last breath and his last kick for Trouble in Paradise told a great story. So the ribs were worked on, but not enough to keep Kofi, the high flyer, out of the match. He is the new WWE champion. 4.25 stars. After the match, his kids came in the ring, celebrated with the New Day. Alright, next up, that's 4 stars and 4.25 stars, that is. Again. Next up, we had Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Not too sure why it was this long. It was only 58 seconds. I give this a quarter of a star. Submission match won by Samoa Joe. Next, we had Drew McIntyre against Roman Reigns. Roman, of course, returned from his cancer treatment, I believe. That was just before this. So he was a sentimental favorite against Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns won by pinfall. Basic match for Roman. It was his first in half a year. So I gave it 2 stars. Next up, we had a concert from Elias. And after that, we had John Cena returning to the basic thugonomics. And he was doing his rap. Then we had Triple H versus Batista in a no-holds-barred match. I don't know why the crowd wasn't hotter for this, but at the same time, they didn't give us a lot. They gave us some bumps, but the whole thing just felt second-rate. It didn't feel like a great match, and it went way too long. So with the crowd involvement, it could have helped, but I can understand the crowd. They're getting a washed-up Batista versus a less than stellar Triple H in a no-holds-barred brawl that nearly went a half an hour, and the crowd wasn't into it. It didn't reflect well on TV. I have it at 2 stars and a quarter. I think that's fair, somewhat. Triple H gets the win after a pedigree on Batista at 24:45. Batista's last match. So there was a hug between Ric Flair and Triple H after the match, right? Next we had Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's farewell match. Baron Corbin won at 6:06 after he hit the end of days. Once again, I give this match 2 stars and a quarter. Angle tried. Baron was okay. The match didn't go long, which is important because it wasn't the most action-packed match. But Angle gets his farewell the way he wanted to, so that's worth a star right there. So 2 stars and a quarter for that. Next, we have the Demon, Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. We have a new champion as the coup de grace made Finn Balor the new IC champion at 4:07. I give this match a star and 3/4 because the Demon wasn't much of a match. Alexa Bliss announced the new WWE MetLife attendance record of 82,265 people. So that's interesting. Is it inflated? Is it not inflated? Next, we have the first women's championship in WrestleMania history main event. So, winner take all. The Raw Women's Champion, the SmackDown Women's Championship, both carried by Charlotte and Ronda. The winner would be Becky. She'd go on to win in a weird fashion where she rolled up Ronda, but not all the way. Very weird pinfall. I can't remember. I can't remember why Corey Graves. I remember in a shoot interview, he said that Charlotte carried this match. I can't remember why. For the love of God, I can't understand why he'd say that. The women didn't. They tried, but I don't think they got over 2 stars and 3/4. That's what I give it. At 1:30 when Rousey rolled up. When Rousey was rolled up by Becky. New champion, goes on a good note, but just 2 stars and 3/4. The match felt sloppy and a little bit anticlimactic, not just the pinfall at the end. The whole thing kind of did. This WrestleMania, though, had a lot of good stuff in it. I give it a 7 out of 10. From MetLife Stadium, I give overall WrestleMania 35 a 7 out of 10. Stay tuned for more WrestleMania reviews. We're getting to near the end here. I appreciate everything you guys done for me from all the views I've gotten so far, but I'd appreciate it if we get some comments going or maybe likes or subscribing if you haven't yet. It means a lot to me that you've watched this far if you have. So thanks for watching, and we'll hope to see you again on the next one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.